And a very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Executive Chef's cooking demonstration. How's everybody doing this morning? Good, yeah, excellent. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this morning we're going to bring out the chef and his team in just a few seconds' time. We'll be taking you through some gravlax, a little gravlax demonstration. Then we've got a Black Forest cake demonstration. So we've got two all rolled into one. Now, you know, there's a big argument going on here on the ship, and the argument's between the guest services manager and the executive chef. Because the guest services manager says there's 2,056 guests on this sailing, and the chef said, no way, there's 4,300, because that's the way these people are eating this cruise. But ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we welcome our executive chef, Sammy, and some of his team from behind the scenes. All right, now, Chef Sammy comes all the way from Jamaica. And Chef, just before you start, let me ask you just a couple of questions. First of all, how big is your team here on board the Radiance?
On the Radiance, I have 147 cooks and chefs.
147 working in the galley. The captain said 12,000 meals a day, is that right?
No, captain is wrong. 15,000 meals a day.
50. Of course, you're feeding 900 crew, huh? 900 crew as well. And you know what they say, that an army marches on its stomach. Is that true?
That's so true, Bobby. That's so true.
Now, you say 147 cooks and chefs, but that's split up into, you have utilities?
We have 47 utilities. We have 12 CDPs. CDPs are demi-chef de parties. Those are supervisors responsible for stations. Then we have our blue scarf, which is next to the CDP. Then we have our trainee cooks, which are yellow scarves.
Okay. And how many sous chefs did you say?
We have 6 sous chefs and 1 executive sous chef.
All right, and then yourself, sitting right at the top of the chain there. What time in the morning do you start work?
Bobby, do you really want to know? 6 o'clock sometimes 5 o'clock, depends on the day.
So it depends on the day. But pretty much the galley's running, what, 24/7?
We have a 24-hour operation. We have our bakery, which is 24 hours. We have our pastry, which is 24 hours, and our buffet station also, which is 24 hours.
Okay, now I can see here that this salmon, yeah?
I hope so.
Yeah, good. You can tell I'm ace in the kitchen. We have salmon here. What do we have in this one over here, chef?
That was a coating of stuff which we use to marinate the salmon. We're doing a cured salmon today. A total different procedure from using the stoves and the hot water and the frying pans.
Okay, now over here, this is one of our sous chefs. This is Chef Armando, all the way from Mexico. Give him a nice round of applause. Chef Armando is going to be taking us through this part of the demonstration. He will be narrating it. And Chef Sammy, you're going to be doing the actual work here, yeah?
I think so. At least I do something sometimes, and that's going to be now.
Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of our executive chef, Sammy, and Armando. Thank you.
Good morning. Can't hear you. Good morning. Are you enjoying my cooking? Yes. You can do better than that. Are you enjoying my cooking? Yes. Thank you. On behalf of our entire galley team, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you to be on the most beautiful ship in the world, the Radiance of the Seas. Today, thank you, Mr. Kevin. It is the most beautiful ship. We are proud groups of cooks and chefs. We come from 4 corners of the world with different religion, different cultural background, but still we work proudly together. So again, gents, give a hand for yourself. A good round of applause. I hope you enjoy the effort which we put in the food to make sure it's tasty and enjoyable as much as possible. We wish you a happy sailing and bon appetit. Thank you. Now I'm going to turn over the mic to Mr. Armando while I start the cooking procedure. As I said, we have no stoves, we have no frying pans, we have no oil, we have nothing than what we have here, ingredients. Totally different cooking procedures. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so like Chef said, what we're doing today, what we're gonna do, you can see some of those pamphlets that were passed around. We're gonna do gravlax. Gravlax is actually a Scandinavian dish. Basically, the actual translation of gravlax will be or bury salmon. The way they will do it back in the day, they will bury the salmon under sand or sometimes in the snow, and the ice and the salt on it will cure it after a while. So what the fishermen will do before they sail, they will bury the salmon, salt it, and by the time they come back after a few weeks on sea, they will the salmon will be cured and they will have food already edible. And also because they didn't have any refrigeration back in the day, that was the way to doing this kind of procuring and preserving the meats and seafood back in the day. So, like I say, we're doing a little gravlax today. Chef, we're gonna start. We already have a clean salmon. If you guys can get the whole salmon back home, or you can get the fillets, whatever is easier for you guys. On the side, the first ingredient that we're gonna use here is aquavit. Aquavit is a liquor from Norway. It's gonna be made from potatoes, but what makes aquavit so special, aquavit has to be transported from Norway all the way to Australia, and then from Australia back to Norway, crossing the Ecuador lines 2 times. And this has to be transported in oak barrels, so this is gonna give a very specific flavors. They believe the shaking and the movement of the sea will make the difference in the aging and the flavor on the oak barrels, and gonna be the main flavor, and the main is gonna have a denomination of origin as well. So it cannot be called aquavit unless do the 2 crossings of the Ecuador line, going all the way down to Australia and then ship back all the way back to Norway. So Chef is gonna add a little bit of the aquavit just to moisturize and get some flavors in the salmon. If you guys cannot get aquavit back home, you can also use vodka. It's gonna be pretty similar, just gonna have to use a little more spices. Now the next component that Chef is adding is gonna be a little bit of salt. The salt gonna help with the curing process. So you're just gonna evenly distribute the salt on the salmon, making sure you cover all the sides. As you guys have those pamphlets, you're gonna see there the amount of the salt, sugar, and juniper berries and so on that you have to put when you're doing this at home. Like Chef said, this is a different process of cooking. It doesn't involve any heat, any water, any boiling, any satay pans. It's gonna be a long period of marination and curing. They're gonna be helpful and something that you can use at home very, very easy and do very easy at home as well. So our next ingredient is gonna be sugar. Again, evenly distribute the sugar. Now the mixture of the sugar and the salt gonna produce enzymes. They're gonna cure the salmon. The salt gonna kill all the bacteria, and the sugar gonna help to do the fermentation. You need sugar for fermentation, just like you do with wines or any liquor. The sugar will help with the fermentation and gonna develop the flavors of the salmon himself. Then the flavors that you're gonna add after, that's gonna be pretty much up to you guys. On this specific gravlax, we're using a little bit of juniper berries and coriander seeds. We have a little bit of lemon zest as well. But again, if you guys want to use orange zest or you want to use lime zest, depending on what kind of flavors you guys like, you can also alterate this. Maybe you can want to do a little bit of spicy. You can add some chili flakes or some other ingredients, whatever you can get back home. So again, just make sure evenly distributed. Make sure everything is nicely covered, and that will do the trick. Now our next ingredient will be the juniper berries. We have juniper berries already cracked. And again, we're just gonna have a little bit of spread it through. Like I say, if you have different ingredients, if you want to change the flavors a little bit, whatever you guys like I'm from Mexico, we eat really spicy, so maybe I will put some spices on it, maybe some chilies or something like that. Or again, whatever you guys prefer, you can probably add a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of cloves, depends on the ingredients that you would like to have or the final flavor you would like to have on your gravlax. You can use orange zest, lemon zest, or lime zest. It's gonna change a little bit of the flavors as well. And in the end, when you're gonna do the slicing and the presentation of the gravlax itself, that will make the difference on the end. So as you can see, Chef is just making sure everything's nicely pressed. You want to have a nice thick custard on top. Just have a nice thick amount of the ingredients. So it's nicely cured, and everything's gonna go inside the salmon, and all the flavors gonna go into it and do the curing itself. So this chef's putting extra little efforts there, making sure everything is nicely covered. And again, this is going to be something easy for you guys to do at home. If you can get the fillets already done, it will be a lot easier. Or if you can get the whole salmon, it'll be more fun. I would prefer to get the whole salmon myself. But again, it depends on how much time you want, how much time you want to spend doing this, and how much time you have to spend on doing this. Now our next ingredients, we add in the dill. We just chop the dill. This is going to be one of the main flavors into this gravlax. And again, if you don't prefer dill flavor, maybe you can omit this and do parsley, or you can do some more herbs, depending on what aromatics herb you like to use back home, whatever is your background, you can change this a little bit as you please. For this particular method, you need 36 hours of curing. So what we're gonna do, this is gonna take 36 hours. We're gonna cover the whole thing, make sure it's nicely crusted with all the ingredients. Then we're gonna put plastic on top and put a weight. We're gonna leave it with the weight. The weight gonna help to get all the moist out of it, and also gonna make sure that all the ingredients stay on top. So we're gonna keep it on the fridge just for 48 hours first. Then after 48 hours, you're gonna turn it over, and you're gonna put the weight again, and then you're just gonna do the final, 12 hours left. And after that, we're just gonna peel off the crust, the marination, and your salmon or your gravlax will be ready to be sliced and be served. Now, what you can do with this gravlax at home, you can do a lot of different things. You can do canapes, you can use it for bagels, you can do it for breakfast. You're gonna find a lot of different uses to do to make or do different dishes, different small dishes with this gravlax. And then you can say that you learn this from the Jamaican executive chef and the Mexican chef, some dish from a Scandinavian in the border radiance of the season, your vacations in Australia and all around. So it'll be something fun to do and impress your friends back home. You guys sleeping? No, you guys okay? Yeah? Don't be shy, give it up. "36 hours. Yeah, so first you're gonna do 48 on one side, then you're gonna flip it, put the weight again, and another 12 hours rest. After that, you're gonna take it out, and like I said, you're gonna clean off the marination, all the mixture of the herbs and sugar and salt, and then that will be pretty much ready to go. Just ready to slice. Again, you're gonna have to have a sharp slicer knife, just to have nice thinly slices of the salmon. So as you can see, just make sure you pat it nicely, make sure it's nicely covered, and that's gonna make the main flavors of the gravlax himself. Any questions up to here? No? I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna hear you. Okay, that will be good for, I will say, a week after you do all the marination, because it's basically cooked. It's basically the whole thing will be fully cured or marinated. So if you keep it in the fridge, it could last a week. Or what you can do if you want, you can slice all the salmon in small pieces of a plastic. You can do 5 or 6 slices at a time and freeze it. And then you can take out of the freezer as you need. So you can slice the whole thing, just pack it in a small plastic bags or Ziploc bags, freeze it, and then you can take out as you need, because maybe one piece is gonna be too much to use at home. Unless you have a party, you're gonna have some friends coming over or something, then you can do a whole piece and probably use it all at once. But if you don't use it all at once, you can keep it good for a week on the fridge, or like I said, you can slice it, put it in Ziploc bags or plastic and freeze it, and that will last for a lot longer. You can keep it there and then just carefully defrost it before you use it again. Any more questions? We are expert with gravlax now? Yeah, everybody? So everybody gonna go home and make yourself some good amount of gravlax, then you can come back and sell it to us and we can serve it on our menus. Deal? Yes? You have any questions for the executive chef? Yes?
That's exactly what then Mr. Amanda is going to do next. Any other questions? Okay, folks, thank you very much. As you can see, it's completed.
Okay, so this is the product, how it's gonna look like right after the marination. We have here one piece that's already been marinated. As you can see, last we're gonna